Although Watchet railway station is surrounded by the visitor centre, the car park and the bus stop, the town centre isn't actually very far away. However, I wouldn't go looking for it, as all there is a co-op, a large department store and the harbour. At least if you go in the department store, there is some model railway stuff for sale, which is actually better than the stuff they had for sale at Watchet railway station, but at least they're having a go. Anyway, here is a Buses of Somerset Enviro 300 in the Quantock Line livery on the 28A. The original Quantock Line route was the 28, however in April 2024 they split up the 28 so that the 28 also served Cotford, St Luke and Norton Fitzwarren, that's the 28A, and so there was some express services which are branded the X28. Here is our next train arriving into Watchet to take us to Stigumber. Our absolutely mammoth train to take us along the branch line to Stigumber is D182, which is a Class 46 peak and is owned by the Severn Valley Railway, alongside 50033, 2142 and 2189. The Severn Valley Railway's main base is at Kidderminster, however the line itself runs from Kidderminster to Bridgnorth, both of which are situated in the West Midlands, with Bridgnorth being located near Wolverhampton and Telford, which I hope to go to quite soon. Requesting the train to stop, then it just carries on through. In this case it's carried on through on its way up the line towards Willerton. Last year I managed to get the Class 55 Deltic to stop here. I really don't think it did the Deltic any good, however it was quite funny, considering the Deltic is one of the largest and most powerful engines that was ever created in Britain. Stigumber, where the weather had turned for the better. Here I am at the very quaint Stigumber station. Although there isn't much in the local area, the station itself is very nice and is lively on a sunny day. However, you wouldn't want to come here on a rainy day. The station would all be locked up and there's hardly any shelter. There is a lovely cafe, as I've mentioned before, which does lovely drinks and snacks. As well as that, there is a model railway in one of the small shelters representing what the station used to look like, and as well as that, there is a small path which walkers can take to get to the village of Stigumber itself, which is quite away from the station. The nearest villages are Stigumber as well as Monksilver. Here is our next train arriving into Stigumber, which is a GWR Class 43 HST, otherwise known as a castle train. Here I am leaving Stigumber on this absolutely fantastic Class 43, traditionally known as a HST, on my way to my next stop of Willerton. Along with other Western Region diesels, such as the Western Class 52 and the warships, the Class 43 is the main workhorse of the traditional Western Region. When the HST was first introduced, it was supposed to be a stopgap for the APT, otherwise known as the Advanced Passenger Train. The APT was a very good concept, however, we never really had enough money, and we probably never will. Anyway, the Class 43 then went on, and they were originally tested and originally started running on the Great Western Main Line between London, Paddington, Bristol and Wales. Later on, they went from running services between London and Bristol to running services on the Great Western Main Line all over the southwest, going as far as Exeter and going as far as the end of the line at Penzance. These were also introduced later on the East Coast Main Line between London, the North and Edinburgh up in Scotland. Although no HSTs do express services at the moment, there are still a few local services operated by GWR that operate between Exeter, Plymouth and Penzance that are still operated by these absolutely amazing trains. Local services up in Scotland, operated by ScotRail, are also operated by HSTs, which used to operate with Great Western Railway. Anyway, you won't really find many of these GWR HSTs on services anymore, as apparently they only have 2 drivers out of their entire network that can actually drive the HSTs. Anyway, here we are arriving into Willerton. I'm not too sure when the last HST will be, however there are rumours that the last one will be in August, which will be a right shame.
Don't forget all your stuff.
trains will always be known as the HSTs, the high-speed trains. They are now called by GWR at least the castle set, as most of them since been shortened from 8 carriages to 4, have all been named after castles in the southwest, mainly in Somerset, Devon and Cornwall. Anyway, here is the main event at the DPG depot. Here is Class 52 D1010, which is supposedly being restored. However, hardly any progress has been made with it, at least visually. Anyway, this HST was supposed to wait at Willerton from my train for around 15 minutes, as with most of the trains. Arriving into Willerton to take me all the way back up the line to Bishop's Lydeard. Don't worry, we're not done yet. However, my next train was the train that I originally had at the start of the series, which is 50033, courtesy of the Severn Valley Railway.
Willerton!
However, on gala days, some trains continue up the line to Norton Fitzwarren. However, you can't even leave the station there. Back at Bishop Needed for the first time since it left at 8:30 this morning. Although some trains continue up the line to Norton Fitzwarren, this particular service ended here.